Good noon, friends. Actually, it's morning here. Good morning, friends. Today I wanted to talk about what to do with leftover resin. I keep a lot of small resin molds around so that when I do have leftover resin, I can make some, just extra resin pieces. So, for instance, I bought this specifically for what it's intended, but if I have enough leftover resin to do, one of the big planchettes, I'll do that. Pour it in the small one. If I've only got a very little bit, I'll do something as small as like these snowflakes or these horror-themed molds. And if I've got just a little bit, I will even pour it into a mold like this, like a trinket dish mold, even if it doesn't fill it up. Because what you can do is just build upon this with other leftover resins. So that's one way that I use up my leftover resins. So what this actually is an unmolding of some of my leftover resin pieces. So I guess we'll start here. So these two pieces right here were from the geode coasters that I did that failed because the black just kind of overtook, remember, with the purple. So I used the rest of the black in this and the white in this, and you're probably looking at that and going, what the hell kind of mold is that? You can't even really tell, but these are actually ice cube molds from the Alien movie. I got them in a horror block, I don't know, a lifetime ago. So let's unmold them. They are matte. It's really cool looking though. And it was just, I was digging through my closet and stumbled upon it and said, oh, let's make something with that. This one you're not really going to be able to see the details in at all. But I do actually really like the way that this, the salt kind of leaves air gaps where the salt has dissolved because of the resin. It's really kind of cool looking. Not sure what I'll do with those pieces. There's a lot of bubbles, micro bubbles in this, because this is terribly detailed. So if I were to actually try and mold this for a purpose, I would go in and paint in the resin first and make sure that there, are no bubbles in these little ridges right here. These came from, what did they come from? I can't remember. I'll pop the link in the iCard. So these are just little versions. I have no clue what I'm going to do with these. I just kind of wanted to see how they looked in the mold. I mean, they turned out really cool. I'm not a big franchise fan of the Alien franchise, but I don't know. It was just there, and I just kind of wanted to try it. I think probably the black one is my favorite. I just think it's really cool looking. This bookmark was also in that same pour as this, so, and it's just the color. I didn't add anything to it, nothing special. So yeah, and this is with that Total Boat resin. For resin artists, you'll probably know that the bookmark molds are so thin that your bookmarks will always be very thin. I'm pushing extremely hard and it's barely bending, and that's a really great sign to me that's a really good resin for your very thin moldings. Alright, next up, I made another set of wings. So this is the remnants of the other wings that I poured, the big ones. And I had also bought a bunch of these smaller wing molds. Very cool. So let's see how this one turned out. Just as cool. I love how shiny they are. So again, I'll probably paint these with the silver as well and do a top coat eventually. But that's a project for another day. And then the last thing that I have, this is from the bezels that I did, the necklace bezels that I did, which you will have seen by the time this goes up. And I was trying to do the Petri dish effect. Oh my god, that's cool. Oh, dude, just look at that. I still have not mastered the Petri dish effect. Let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see from the sides how the ink is, you know, being pushed. Man, that is cool. I like that a lot. So I still have not mastered the Petri dish effect, but I will one day. Mark my words. So yeah, that's what I do with my extra resin. If I have leftover resin, I'll go grab a mold or two. Sometimes I have to grab 3 because Megan loves to mix way more resin than she needs. But just some ideas, some tips and tricks for you guys if you're resin crafters. Use up that resin. Why waste it, you know? Unless you let it sit too long and it becomes rock hard in the cup. Yes, I've done that before. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like content like this, please subscribe, hit that bell so you can be notified whenever I upload. Make sure you hit that like button, please, because it helps me out. Makes me feel good. Alright. Have a great day, guys. Take care.